Hi guys, Swans away this here, back again for another video. In this one then, I'm not too sure what to call this series. I'm just going to call it Swans Weekly or Swans Daily for now. Basically, it's just round up the latest transfer news about Swans City. I'm looking to do about 2 or 3 episodes a week, depending on how busy we seem to be in the transfer market. Of course, the time we're recording, the transfer window now is officially open, so let the silly rumours begin. So yeah, the first bit of news from City then, Jamal Lowe, of course, was at Swansea last season, has had 2 spells at the club now. We were linked with a permanent return for Jamal Lowe, but unfortunately, Jamal Lowe has joined fellow Championship side Sheffield Wednesday on a permanent transfer. He has signed a 2-year contract at the Owls with an option of a third. He is 29 years old, a Jamaican international, scored 10 goals for us in 35 in all competitions last season, 9 in the league. Scored twice against Sheffield Wednesday last season, once at home from the penalty spot and once away, which was probably the easiest finish he'll ever get in his career. Yeah, we were quite heavily linked to sign him again on a permanent transfer, but unfortunately, due to his wages, we couldn't get it over the line. I think our wages, what we wanted to give him and what he wanted, just didn't really suit both parties. Obviously, Lowe, coming into his 30s now, so looking for that one decent-ish contract before, his career does end in the next, 6-7 years, I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't blame him for going to Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, they're a huge club. Obviously, haven't really, been at the levels for a couple of years now, but obviously last season under Danny Rowe, fantastic season for them. Started off very, very poor as this Goodman is, but Roll came in, saved their season, and a really, really good upturn in form after the end of the year. Can play as a winger or up front, so will be a decent option for Sheffield Wednesday. Can be frustrating at times, Jamal Lowe, sometimes where you think he can get past his man, he cuts back. But there was a lot of times last season when he did save us and got some important goals. Like I say, he does chip in with a decent goal now and again, and obviously scoring the South Wales derby as well, which was a fantastic pace to get around Nathaniel Phillips and slot into the empty net. So yeah, I'm not too devastated about this one, guys. Like I say, if Lowe did return, I wouldn't want him to be a starter week in, week out. I wouldn't mind him starting a few games, but obviously Lowe's coming into his 30s now, so doesn't really have that fire end product. But at championship level, he can be a decent striker or winger, depends where you want to use him, and can be a good option off the bench. So in terms of incomings then, guys, we are heavily linked with K-League winger Eom JiSung, 22 years old, South Korean winger who plays his football in his home country, South Korea. 22 years old, like I just said, and was left out of his side's last fixture a couple of days ago due to the speculation about his move to Europe. When you got players from like these sort of countries like South Korea or countries which haven't got the biggest of money, it's very important for those players to get exposure to Europe in terms of expanding their career. We always see it in terms of these South American teams or these Asian teams and stuff like that. It's a big thing for them. We saw it with Ronaldo. When a team from Europe, especially used to be in the Premier League, come knocking, it is a very, very big thing to not turn down, essentially, because you get that exposure to England, Wales, whatever you want to call it. And obviously, there's a lot of TV money, better wage and stuff like that, and it could prolong your career. He has made a few appearances for the South Korean national team as well. Did score against Iceland a few months ago, so fantastic for him to get his first goal for his country. Korean outlet, which is basically their version of Swansea Online, essentially. Sports Seoul claims we have had 3 bids, 2 rejected. Our first 2 offers was $700,000, which equivalents to £550,000. That got rejected. Then we had a second bid of $1 million, which equivalents to £800,000 rejected. Now, it is not accepted, our third bid, but it's heavily linked that they are going to accept her essentially out of a third bid of $1.2 million, which equates just under £1 million Great British pounds, or about £900,000. But the move will probably be added on around over £1 million with add-ons and certain clauses as well. Heavy rumours that we have former Swansea City midfielder JiSung, his recommendations about him. Obviously, JiSung was at Swansea a lot of times in the Premier League and made a lot of appearances, and obviously he is South Korea as well, so we will know a little bit about Eom JiSung, you'd like to think, with obviously him doing his coaching badges and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously I have not seen too much about him, but obviously Ronaldo's turned out to be a decent signing. Again, still a bit raw, can have a lot of improvement in his game, but it is nice to see us doing a bit of transfer business, looking around the world for players instead of just going for the boring players. Like a few years ago we were just signing proper champ Championship players like Jamie Patterson and the players like that. But yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, it's not over the line yet, so I don't want to get too excited. And obviously, if we do sign Eom JiSung, then there will be another video on the channel. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see Eom JiSung in the Swansea City shirt? Could have a South Korean on the left wing, a Brazilian on the right wing, and a Welshman up front in Liam Cullen. Now, that would be some chemistry. Now, the final bit of transfer news to round up this show today is a weird one. It's former Cardiff City striker Mark Harris. Now, Alan Nixon has reported Swansea City are interested in the Welshman's services. So, you can take it with a pinch of salt. Alan Nixon sometimes can be, quite reliable. Sometimes, you might as well talk to a feather off a tree. It's very, very odd sometimes what this guy says. But anyway, Mark Harris, 25 years old, scored 15 goals in 46 League One appearances. So the first thing which springs to my mind when I say that is he's injury-free. Now, he has had injuries in the past, but last season for Oxford, played every single league game, either coming off the bench or starting. Now, the problem with him at Championship level is when he was at Cardiff, he made 95 appearances in all competitions, only scored 10 goals. So, already scored more goals for Oxford in, let me do quick maths, 49 less games than he did for Cardiff. But obviously, the Championship is a lot harder than League One, as everyone would know. He's got 2 years left on his Oxford United deal, and obviously with Oxford United also being in the Championship this season, I don't think it'll be, a cheap deal. It probably will equivalent to around £1 million-ish if it does happen. And obviously he's a big part of why Oxford got promoted, so they wouldn't want to lose one of their better players. He was born in Swansea, funny enough, did represent Cardiff. Like I said, has actually represented Swansea on a competitive level. I'm sure, he played for the under-8s, under-9s, under-10s, something like that before Cardiff pinched him. But funny enough, he has also played for a couple of Welsh clubs. He's also played for Newport County and Wrexham AFC as well, both on loan. So the only other team's got to tick off essentially in the Welsh competitive level, Swansea City. That'd be very interesting indeed if that happened, because we don't really get linked with former Cardiff players as much. They don't really get linked with former Swansea players as much. I think the last one maybe which happened was Stephen Corker. Obviously he was on loan with us, then went to Cardiff on loan and scored against us, funny enough. But yeah, the two clubs, I know this is not a direct transfer from Cardiff, but it's very, very, you don't see it too often. Obviously Wayne Routledge as well, Alan Curtis. But it doesn't happen too often that, a former Cardiff player or former Swansea player moves in the opposite direction, especially when he was only at Cardiff, 2 seasons ago as well. He has also played for Wales, 5 appearances for his country. Hasn't played too much for Wales, though, in the last couple of years. He did receive League One Player of the Month for April last season. So, like I said, at Oxford, a real breakout season for Mark Harris. Like I said, 15 goals, 46 games, not too bad at all. He's not the most prolific striker, but he's very quick, works hard for the team. So, very similar to Liam Cullen, I'd say. I don't really want 2 Liam Cullens in the team because, they're not prolific, but they will work hard. And look, if this happens, I don't think Cardiff fans will be too happy about Mark Harris. But again, like I said, if it happens, we'll see what happens, essentially, in terms of the reaction he'll get. But he's a decent player. But again, I think we can do a lot better. But I don't think this will happen just because of his Cardiff connections. And obviously Oxford will want a decent fee because he's, in a good age. 2 years left in his contract, so, his contract's not running out next season. So they'll want a decent figure, and, I think we can do a lot better in a lot better markets because we do need a player who is capable of scoring around 15 goals if you want to get top half this season. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts about Mark Harris. Would you take Mark Harris at Swansea? If you would, what sort of price are you looking at? And like I said, with his Cardiff connections, very, very unlikely in my opinion. So thanks guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Great to be making videos back again for you guys. Like I said, looking to do 2 or 3 of these a week. Really do enjoy these type of videos. And obviously, like I said, just depends on how busy we are in the transfer market. These are all rumours, so don't take them, with 100% certainty, apart from the Jamal Lowe, which is officially confirmed by Sheffield Wednesday, and obviously Eom JiSung, which is rarely being reported on X, I guess you call it these days. Make sure you follow us on my social medias. There will be a link down below to follow me on all the platforms. Obviously, I've got a new Twitter account now because my old one got hacked, which was brilliant. But yeah, if you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.